the main purpose for wanting to do this, that relates to narcissistic abuse, is to do with like an invisible thing that we have in our culture that is in the shadow that nobody talks about, which is money. So every problem that we have takes place against a context and a background of money, but we're not talking about that. We never talk about that. So in narcissistically abusive relationship dynamics, it's power that's key. It's always power that's the key element. Nobody talks about it. They're like, oh, I can't leave. Why not? Well, when we psychologize it, we say, what's your childhood trauma that stops you from leaving? How about the fact you haven't got any fucking money? You live in that person's house, or you're dependent on that person's business. And yesterday when I was preparing for this, I was like really going deep on it. I'd had too much caffeine, of course, walking along. I was like, wow, let's go deep on this one. And I started thinking, there's no, when people are arguing about stuff like race or religion, I was like, no, there's no race. There's only two races, rich and poor. Everything else, they're scrabbling in between for little bits of like psychological or political territory. It's money is the backdrop against which that happens. The only two races are rich and poor. What about religion? Well, the only religions really are rich and poor at the political level, at the power level. There isn't another religion. So all religious, say within one religion, you have sects that are fighting with each other. Those sects are really largely fighting over pieces of territory that bring them power or wealth or both. That's what it is. So the only religion, I'm not saying I like it. I'm not one of these die-hard capitalists who's like, that's the best humanity can do. I don't like it. But I was born into this world. I didn't make it this way. The world was malformed when I arrived by Yaldabaoth or whoever did it. And I just want to have a non-hypocritical, non-two-faced dialogue, conversation about that. Money means everything in this world that we're all born into. None of us created this. Our grandparents back, they didn't create it. This is just the way the world has ended up. But we have to acknowledge that. Like, money counts, and everything else is hot air, really. Any major controversial dialogue or polemic that's taking place right now, I dare anybody to mention it. A war, a grab for territory, a religious issue, or a racial issue. Look at the money. Look at the money. It's all money. It's all money all the time in this world. So when it comes to narcissistic and psychopathic abuse, I would say, well, what's the power dynamic? If you're crushed and heartbroken and can't move on, are you truly the one who has the power? Maybe, but it's unlikely. You've probably been disempowered. You've probably either literally had money robbed from you, or years robbed from you that you could have spent making money. Okay, so what can we do as individuals? We can try and get a hold of money. So the course that I've created, either people can take it because they just want to think about money and think about the world in a more realistic way, so the map that we have more closely matches the territory, or they can take it because they actually want to start making money for themselves at whatever level. Some people, maybe they just want like a sideline thing that pulls them in a couple of $100 more a week, and other people may have aspirations to build businesses that can make them dollar millionaires, which is, we discussed this in the other interview. It sounds grotesque to say it and obscene to say it to people who are struggling paycheck to paycheck, month by month. But becoming a dollar millionaire, by American standards, a dollar millionaire just means the totality of everything you own, including cash in the bank, and basically what you have that you have access to, your total assets. If it's worth $1 million, it doesn't need to be liquid. It doesn't need to be, I have $1 million in the bank. It's your car, it's your home, it's every asset you have. If you drive it up to $1 million, you're a dollar millionaire. There's tons of them. I mean, there's fucking tons of them. And we can all realistically aspire to that if you are of an average IQ and up, and you're prepared to work. Anybody can have that over time, but they can't have it tomorrow. It's years. Okay, it's years. So what? Years are gonna pass anyway. Do you want 3 years or 4 years or 5 years to pass and you have more money or less money? That's it. Just put money in your bank. It's hard, but it's not that hard.
I have a lot of resistance around money. I feel like it's materialistic and narcissistic to want to be rich. Why and what do I do about that?
if a person has a mental block because they think it's materialistic and narcissistic to be rich, I speak now just as a dude, just as a bloke. I can't speak as a mental health advocate on this topic because I'm too bound. I can't be politically correct about this subject. And I can't be like, oh, mustn't trigger hashtag. I'm just like, honestly, from the heart, that's slave conditioning. It's slave conditioning. Largely by the rich, largely by power holders who propagate this lie. Money doesn't really matter. You don't need money. Who taught you that money doesn't matter? Who taught you that money is materialism? Was it the church? The church that is has done everything it can to take as much power and as much wealth from people as they can for fucking thousands of years. Like if you talk about the Catholic Church, maybe it still is, the largest real estate owner in the world. Did you know that about the Catholic Church? The largest real estate owner in the world. These churches, the McDonald's didn't invent, McDonald's isn't about food, it's about real estate. They just took that from the Catholic Church. Those churches are placeholders for land. That's our land, tax-free, by the way, because if you're getting people closer to God and you run a religion, you don't pay taxes. So, of course, I'm going to say to you, if I'm running a church or I'm running McDonald's, the church of fast food, or I'm running whatever corporate capitalist endeavor, this is a corporate capitalist endeavor, it's not an entrepreneurial endeavor, I would say to you, of course I want the people to believe bullshit. You don't need money. Money is dirty and it brings you back down to the material world, my son. What you need to do is let go. Give the money to me, your sin. Give me your sin. Give me your money. Give me your material pain. And I will give you the tickets to the really nice 5-star hotel in the afterlife. All your rewards will come in the afterlife whilst I'm enjoying gold and purple cloaks and wealth in this life. It's depraved. It's an inversion. And it's not true. I mind that this world is very cruel. I mind that the world we live in is savage. Okay, but I can live with that. I really fucking struggle to live with the hypocrisy. That it's not savage, that it's not cruel, that we're not doing what we're really doing. So everybody is kind of playing this two-faced game. I don't care about money. To care about money is narcissistic and materialistic. That's what they say, and that's their forward-facing face. But inside, they're scrabbling for cash. They're scrabbling for it. I've made this criticism of people from my area. Like, I'm from there, so I can. Like in Liverpool, in the Wirral, in the Northwest, we've got this weird culture. It's a socialist. We're all socialists. Salt of the earth. Scousers will do anything for you, lads. Oh, you don't care about money. They just care about each other. They just care about the community. Everybody I know, every single fucking person I know is stabbing each other in the back for cash. And as soon as they make money, they leave. They leave the world. They leave Liverpool. Nobody fucking stays there. I was like, I thought we were salt of the earth, Scousers all day to death and all that. Get a little bit of money, they fuck off, they're gone. Where's your socialism now? I'm not having a pop at socialism. I am a person who believes that capitalist principles must be balanced by socialist principles. I want to be clear about that. But the posturing of like a pseudo-socialism annoys me a lot. So you'll have like the working class or gangster class of people will always talk socialism but do capitalism. Where it's like, the government should redistribute wealth, everything should be fair. Where it depraved, in Liverpool, sorry to say this is going to make me very unpopular, but it's a victim mentality. We were like one of the second capital of the UK. Shipping industry leaves. It's kind of like Detroit. The car industry goes and everybody's left to what? Depravity and criminality. Nobody gives a fuck. Okay, fine. It's painful, whatever. But then there's this like sense of, no, the government should redistribute the wealth. Why do you believe that? Because you're broke. You don't have anything. And as soon as you have something, what does it go on? Jewelry, Mercedes, BMW, luxury holidays to here in Dubai. Where's your socialism then? As soon as you have cash, you're buying fake tits. As soon as you have cash. So it's, to me, all of this, I let it be what it is. It's fine. But don't ask me to sit there and smile while you give me your bullshit spiritualities, your socialism. Oh, I'm not materialist. I believe in the eternal. No, you don't live that, man. You don't live that because you're too weak. You're too weak to live it. It takes real strength for people to not go crazy in the presence of power, fame, or money. It drives them completely mad, and you see it happen overnight. So the idea that money is narcissistic and money is materialistic, I just think, well, it's slave indoctrination, and it's kind of like, it's Zizek's fetishist split. We all know very well that money is the thing that makes the world work. We all know very well that we're secretly trying to get as much money as we can. And yet at the same time, we espouse this nonsensical ideology that everybody believes, but the belief is upheld by the disbelief. It's a little bit complicated. Zizek has a lecture called Only an Atheist Can Believe, which is one of his famous inversions. But you have to not believe it to espouse it, because if you believed it, you wouldn't espouse it, you would do it. So people proselytize this thing, but nobody's doing it, nobody's living it. They all want it. They all know that money is... So what you have is like this Nietzschean slave morality thing where they'll say, well, I don't have money, I don't know how to make money, fuck it, I don't want it anyway. That's childish. No, you want money. You want money. We all want money.
What kind of business does someone start? How do you determine the type of business that you start? Where do you get that inspiration from? Like, in your case, you did Street Fight Secrets.
Mm-hmm.
How did you just wake up and decide, I'm gonna make street fight stuff, or do you do something you're slightly passionate about, or something you're good at, or something you know about? So what type of business should someone start? Where do they start from? From zero, from the conceptualization of the business. How do I pick what business I should make?
So there's two good questions there. One is that is interesting and useful, I suspect, to people listening. One is how Street Fight Secrets started, and the other one is where should people start? So where should people start? We'll do first. I always start with the question, if I'm coaching somebody in business, do you want to fulfill your dreams or do you want to put money in the bank? Because I can't do both. I'm only speaking to people who want to put money in the bank. You want to fulfill your dreams? See a shaman, see a priest, see a fucking psychiatrist. It's none of my business and I can't help you. You're an adult. You're a fucking adult. What are your dreams? Your dreams are probably shit. Sorry, but also, I'm not sorry. What the fuck? Your dreams. What the fuck does that mean? I'm not saying debase yourself and go against your values to make money. Don't do that. It's unnecessary. It's bad karma. It's haram, and it's bad for the ecology. It's bad for your life. It's bad for the lives of people around you. No, live in accordance with your values. But fuck your dreams. Fuck them. They're ruining your life. Your dreams. We are adults. It's the real world. Childhood is over. The problem that we have in this culture, Crowley identified it. He called it the Aeon of Horus. Jung took the idea, I believe, and called it the Puer Aeternus. We're obsessed with remaining in childhood. We can't. It will kill us. It will end us. Childhood is over. You're suffering. People are watching this. They're full of frustration. They're full of depression. They're full of anxiety. They're full of rage. They're impotent, sometimes even physically. Men and women cannot become sexually aroused because of how stultified they are in every area of their lives, and they don't function as normal, healthy human beings. And it's this obsession with the childhood fantasy, the childhood dream, and this hope, this hopefulness. Of course, we all have our associations with hope. Hope is not optimism. Hope is not an action plan. Hope is the end result of hope. So we can have this argument, is hope good or bad? It's for philosophers, and it's not appropriate here. Look, at the end of the day, if you hope, you don't act. Only people who despair act. Because if you hope, you say, well, it didn't happen today. I'm not going to change anything. I'm not going to do anything different. I'll just keep hoping that things will get better in the future. And that's why I'm with Nietzsche. Nietzsche said, hope really is the worst of all things because it prolongs the suffering of man. You don't change. Only with Kierkegaard's despair do you make changes. So are you going to follow your dreams? God help you. God help you. Follow them where? Where were they formed? Where are your dreams formed? Because when you were 6, your dad didn't come to your ballet recital and it hurt you, and now you want other male authority figures to see you, or You know, the girl at school that you liked, you tried to ask her out on a date with the notes we used to give each other or whatever childish thing you did, and she ran away laughing, and now you have to prove your masculinity. These are your dreams. They're shit. If psychoanalysis has taught us anything, it's that. Your dreams are shit. And that's okay. That's okay, but don't be beholden to them. Don't be enslaved by them. You know, I really like this Islamic term. I probably overuse it. Shirk. It's idolatry. Don't make an idol of your dreams. Your dreams are shit. My dreams are shit. All of our dreams are shit. Now, on the flip side of the coin, you put money in the bank and I say live in accordance with your values. You put money in the bank and you have a dream to, I don't know, go to Costa Rica and ride a fucking llama or whatever you want. Sure, go ahead. Go ride the llama. Ride the fuck out of that sweaty beast.
And evolve the animal.
A llama.
Not a horse.
No, a llama. It should be weird. It must be weird. Sure, like, go for it. You want to live in a bigger house, go for it. You want to get married and have kids, go for it. But please, this is as good as it gets. Remember, this is as good as it gets. Don't be greedy. Remember that your wife, your husband, your children, your house, it's not perfect. This world is an imperfect world. That's the Gnostic view. And I learned from you, this is the Islamic view as well, to accept that this is an imperfect world. And we have to, there's always going to be suffering between our dreams and the reality of this world. And what do you fill that with? Well, prayer and submission to God, or some kind of a philosophy that allows you to accept that. This is a philosophical and psychological practice, making money. It's very testing. People don't realize, and that's why there's statistics out there that will tell you like 80% of business startups fail. It's utter nonsense. 99.99999% of business startups fail because they never leave the kitchen table where you wrote it down on the back of a napkin. You're like, oh, we could make coffee cup holders with a fucking unicorn dildo on them, whatever shit people come up with. They never do it. They never take action because their unconscious won't let them, because of their dreams, because of the fragility of their dreams. So I don't know what people's dreams are, but 90% of them are never going to occur. Like if your dream is to be, all of our dreams, you mentioned narcissism, all of our dreams are narcissistic. These childish dreams. I want to be worshipped. I want to be loved. I want to be the pharaoh. I want to be the empress. Fuck your dreams. Let it go, man. We're older than that now. Can I offer you peace? Yes. Can I offer you financial security? Yes. Can I offer you fulfillment and contentment? Yes. Ooh, but not your dreams. Your dreams are of no interest, really. So you want to put money in the bank? Can you do it doing something you're interested in? Yes. Can you do it in a way that makes you rich and famous beyond your wildest dreams and make your bullies at school come and lick your feet? No. I can't, no. And I all of that stuff has to go in the bin, and we have to be rigorously honest with ourselves. This is the Dostoevskian practice of the rigorous discipline of self-honesty, which Sigmund Freud adopted from Dostoevsky, and that's what he would teach his patients. You must be rigorously honest with yourself, if not with other people. Tell yourself the truth. For God's sake, tell yourself the truth. Because when you lie to yourself, you're ruining everything. When you lie, Dostoevsky had this whole thing, which was like, if you lie to yourself, you're going to develop contempt for yourself. If you can't love yourself, you can't love other people. If you can't love other people, you can't respect other people. You lose your connection with God. You can't love God, and you live in a godless world. How? What's the road to hell? According to Dostoevsky, is a lack of honesty, a lack of self-honesty leads to godlessness. I can't remember exactly how he did it. He's one of the greatest writers who ever lived. He has a beautiful way of phrasing it, but it's something like what I just said. There's these direct action steps that lead to godlessness. Why are we talking religion and philosophy and politics when people just want to make money? Because this is all in there. You think the fantasy is, I'm going to have a side hustle. I fucking hate that term. I hate side hustle as much as I hate Gary Vee. I hate side hustle as much as I hate grind culture and that fucking phrase, fake it till you make it. I loathe these things because these are all traps that keep people stuck. You'll be broke. In 3 years' time, with your side hustle, with your Gary Vee, with your fucking crypto fantasies, in 3 years' time, I'll come back and you'll be poorer than you were when we spoke 3 years ago. And what did I offer you in those 3 years? Tons of work. Tons of work. Is it fun? No, not particularly. It's quite boring. Mostly. Most of the stuff I do on a day-to-day basis is pretty fucking boring. Do I want to do it? No. I just have to do it. It's shit. It sucks. It's part of life. And I'm fine with that because I'm an adult. And I accept, like, this is my dharma. This is my daily bread. This is what God offers me today. And I go, yeah, okay, fine. This is what we're doing. If I sit there sucking my thumb and go, I deserve more. Okay, well, fuck you. Fuck you. The jungle will look at you, screeching in your toddler's tantrum that you deserve more, or it should be easier, or it shouldn't be so hard, and you will be left to die of starvation in the jungle, which is wonderful.
Remind us what the jungle is again.
The jungle, to me, is so I have the way I conceptualized it. There's a book written called The Jungle is Neutral by a British explorer, probably trying to colonize somewhere and steal its resources. That's my culture. Stealing, cultural appropriation is my culture. And he was like, yes, the jungle can kill you. It's full of flies and snakes and poison and everything else. And so your experience as an unprepared human being is, this jungle is trying to kill me. It's a dangerous place. And his point was, no, the jungle doesn't care. It's neutral. If you're ready for the jungle, if you're prepared for the jungle, if you understand what it is, you can survive and you can flourish there. If you're not ready, yes, it will kill you. But the jungle is not evil or good. The jungle is neutral.
Just is.
It just is what it is. This is what I love about capitalism. This is what I love about just like free market capitalism and competing and making money, is there's no politics. You can't whinge your way into, well, you can whinge your way into making people give you money for a while, but it doesn't last. And that's one of the laws of the jungle. You can't give people shit products in exchange for money. That's one of the laws of the jungle. You follow the laws of the jungle or you die. It's beautiful. It's savage. It's perfect. So what I would recommend to people is, if they actually want to make money, that they jump on the course, and at the very least you'll get a different philosophical perspective on money and business. But what I really want people to do is I want people to start. I want them to put money in the bank. I want them to find ways of making it easier to pay rent every month, because these rent payments, the car payments, the food payments, they're stress. It's psychological stress. And the idea should be to reduce people's psychological stress, to reduce, even in some countries, medicine is very, very expensive. It can reduce. If you have more money, you will be in less pain. Certain medical procedures you can only pay for with cash. People will literally live longer and not die because they have more money. Literally, there's tons of medical procedures. You're aware of them. So money is life. But we're all supposed to believe money is nothing and to be attached to it is narcissistic and materialistic. Fuck that. It's life. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching. If you're interested in joining us for the live seminar, it's taking place this Sunday. Just hit the link below. There will also be a recording of the live seminar, and there's a pre-recorded course, which if you go to this link and buy it, you'll be able to see what the seminar was, and there's the course there as well that takes you through in a step-by-step fashion everything you need to do to start setting up your own business today.